So let's talk about healing old timelines during dream state, right? So sometimes when we sleep, our soul is actually clearing out timelines. That's why in dreams, you'll see people you haven't seen in years. It's not random most of the time, right? I'm very aware that the astral plane, the 4D, is a very busy, heavy, there's a lot going on there. Some planes and some realms in the 4D are good to tap into, some are not, you know what I'm saying? Then I also know that it's very heavily infiltrated, and when we sleep, a lot of things are used against us. So sometimes they'll use replicas of people that you have known or you hold deep emotions or cords to, and just so you can perpetuate that longing, that karmic loop within your 3D realm. So in the 4D realm, they're looshing off your energy of your sadness, your grief, your desperation, and things like that. So I'm totally aware that this is not the case for everyone, but I do believe, you know, in energy, and that like attracts like. So if you tapped on this video, you may be going through this too, or you may have, or you may start to, right? So it's not random most of the time. So those souls are either tapping into your field, they're pinging you, their higher self, maybe they're thinking about you, or it's just your guides walking you through healing old timelines. Okay, so still kind of like replicas of them, but not really. So I'm going to explain. So why this happens is if we haven't consciously stepped into dream mastery, our guides will do some of the heavy lifting for us while we sleep. Especially if you ask them and you have a good connection with your guides, but you got to build it. It takes time. You know what I'm saying? They will do that if you allow them to, right? And this can look like reliving memories, seeing old relationships, seeing old faces. You know, you thought like, oh, like, what are you doing here? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, why am I dreaming about you? Or you'll even face like childhood versions of yourselves, right? And that's because these timelines are being healed or collapsed. So why dreams pull up the past? So when we dream, our soul will sometimes walk us back through old timelines like childhood, like our childhood, teenage years, or even just chapters we thought we were done with, right? And that's kind of what made me like want to investigate this more when I get into my example, because I'm like, I thought I was done and over that. Or, you know, I don't talk to these people. I don't have any deep emotions or hard energy towards them. So what's that about? But obviously it's my subconscious that I'm unconsciously aware of is still healing these, right? So let's continue. So that doesn't mean all timelines are running at once. It does mean, though, that certain parts of our soul history get brought up so we can heal, release, or collapse them. So sometimes, like I said, you'll have these dreams, especially if you know, if you're into like, you know, this healing work and this spiritual stuff, you'll understand like there's all kinds of timelines that are constantly going on, and sometimes it's our responsibility as sovereign beings to collapse them and to heal those, so they're not getting looshed off of, you know what I'm saying, and things like that. We're not constantly being traumatized or carrying that trauma anymore. And that's what shadow work is. That's what soul retrieval is, right? So let's move forward. So our guides use dreams as a safe place to help us process what we couldn't at the time. And that's specifically speaking about if you relate to what I'm talking about, because I know the dreams can get messy and it's not always our guides that are guiding us through them. So a recent example for me, and this is why I brought this up, and I'm bringing this up and I want to share this, is because I was like perplexed because so a recent example for me, sorry, I get everywhere. I'm like a bird, okay? Almost like a continuum. So I keep having this repeated dream, almost like a continuum. Not everything is happening the same within the dream, but the one core theme is it's in a school, right? And it's like I'm back in my old high school. So even if it doesn't exactly look like my old high school, it's still the same familiar faces and things like that, right? And the same kind of feeling. And every time there's one key thing that happens though, is I always end up walking out of that school feeling so much lighter and better. I know that's crazy, but like before I wake up, or you know, right when that dream ends. And because sometimes I have multiple different dreams, you know what I'm saying, in one night. But then, like, I'll always walk out and I'll just feel like almost like a big cord gets snapped each time. And then in each dream, it's like there's a specific focus on a different person. Or some dreams, they'll happen back to back to back. It'll be focused on one person. Okay? But I'm realizing that that's me healing old aspects of myself, going back and doing that soul retrieval during my sleep state, right? And my higher self is totally helping me, because I'm not going to lie, I don't consciously go in and be like, oh, I'm going to go do this. It's like they're helping me out, right? So at first I thought, like, why am I dreaming about these people I haven't seen in forever? This is so weird. You know, I don't hold any hard emotions or anything like that, right? That I'm aware of, right? But then I realized this is actually healing work happening in the astral, and there's still energy around my high school years that needed clearing. So back then, I was really scattered. I was trying to look for belonging. I went to a small town school, you know what I'm saying? So I stuck out like a sore thumb. I'm very different, you know what I'm saying? Just imagine me in a small town, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, whatever. Anyways, so I didn't feel safe being who I truly was. So I tried to change myself to fit in. But now in this chapter of my life, right, I'm being called to fully step into my sovereignty, and to embrace everything that I am, everything that I was, everything that I am not, and everything that I can be, right? And these dreams are part of that process. You know, showing me that my higher self is guiding me through the healing even while I'm sleeping, right? And then maybe you relate to that too. Maybe this is happening for you too. Maybe you're not having a continuing dream of your old high school, but maybe it's a certain part in your life where you felt like you were really heavily compromised, you know what I'm saying? And you're like, why do I keep having this perpetual dream? What is this about? What is this about? What is this about, right? So I don't know, pay attention to who shows up in your dreams, right? Okay, don't just brush it off. Ask yourself, what timeline is being healed here? That's where you'll find the message your soul is working on the while you rest. So sometimes, I'm not going to lie, again, they will use replicas against you to perpetuate karmic loops to feed off your leash, especially if they know you had hard feelings towards someone. So whether that's hate, despair, maybe someone betrayed you, disappointed you, maybe you loved somebody, you know what I'm saying? Maybe there's unfinished business or something like that. So maybe you dream about them. Maybe it's not a sign of, sometimes it is, but maybe it's not a sign like, oh, I need to reach out to that person. It's just like, okay, I'm healing that version or the themes that tied into that karmic relationship with that person, right? Or with those people, or for my instance, with the with my school, with my situation. So I thought I would share that because again, like, this has been on my mind for a minute, and also I just know I'm not the only one, and I just want other people to know that you're not the only one. And I love you guys so much. Omni-love. Hit me up for a clearing. $33. 45 to 60 minutes Zoom call, me and you. That's tier 1, and that basically does, you know, the J Seals, the Metatronic reversals, the Zeta Seals, that most of us are born with. Okay, most of us are born with these automatically, especially if you deal with like chronic fatigue, if you have diagnosis that don't really have much context. You know, I really do feel a lot of this has to deal with these NAA agendas, right? These reversals agendas on us. And then also I'm still offering my Starseed chart readings, where I will go through and break down all your placements and send that to you. I think that's like $25 on Etsy right now. That's going to be changing very soon. I'm going to be doing Zoom with that too, and like totally upgrading that, since I am upgrading in my DNA and more of my psychic abilities are coming online, and I'm just feeling, again, better, embracing myself instead of running from myself, right? So I love you guys. Until the next transmission, Omni-love.